Welcome to NoTownNerds. I'm Matt.
And I'm Eric.
I'm Dan.
I'm Nick.
So joining us today is Dan. Dan's a cosplayer, is that right?
Yep.
Is that what you'd summarize yourself as?
That's what I call myself, yeah.
So what do you cosplay as?
I am Goldar and a 7'4" Wookiee named Snuva.
Snuva. And what's Snuva from?
He's from the expanded universe of Star Wars. So a comic book somewhere, he came up and basically he was a Wookiee that got banished from the Wookiee place. I can't think of the
Kashyyyk.
planet. Yes, there you go.
Yeah.
You know it's no longer canon, right?
Yeah. Isn't it?
Right. Now they call it expanded universe.
Yeah.
So it's still allowed to be in the clubs, but it's not.
Which to me is kind of like a dick move, I feel. Like there's been decades of stories, like fan stuff going on, and all of a sudden now it's just like, nope, we're done. All we have now is Clone Wars, that's it. So
Yeah. Well, a good friend, he's a stormtrooper, and his take on it is that it's better because he has like 200 of the expanded universe books, and he said he's only read 2. So it's good for him because now, great, I didn't read them.
Who needs these books
Exactly.
anyway? Yeah.
Now he feels like he achieved something by not reading them.
So is that causing a rift within the clubs and things like that?
Not that I've noticed, because it's pretty much the movies are the top tier, and then everything after that is kind of second tier, and then you have like your third tier.
You know, like your outcasts now, the guys that like aren't invited to the parties.
Well, the guys that are like really into the Ewoks cartoon are invited to the parties.
Or the Christmas special.
Yeah, the droid guys.
Speaking of the Christmas special, Peeves showed it?
Yeah,
it was like last week.
Did you go?
No, I didn't.
I wanted to go. I had to work.
No.
I thought I had the day off, but then I had to work.
It's fucking terrible.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
I didn't say it was good, but if you have alcohol and friends.
45 minutes of just Wookiee talk with no subtitles.
Yeah. So, it's like the first 15 minutes is just introducing like the Wookiees and like or Chewbacca's family, and there's no subtitles, and it's just the whole introduction of like his wife and like his dad Itchy, like it's so terrible.
He's such an asshole.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of funny. Like I think it's funny. Like they can laugh at themselves.
Yeah.
No, George Lucas doesn't claim the Christmas special.
That's true.
No,
okay, that's true.
Yeah.
He's not laughing at himself. He's kind of made something funny, but
it's not like the early '90s Fantastic Four that was made to keep the rights, and they didn't want to release it because they didn't put their heart into it.
Right.
This is like they tried with this. They did their best to make a Christmas special, and it aired on CBS.
Died for this movie.
And people probably died because of it. Yeah.
It was mass outrage.
Yeah. But it's I don't know, it's terrible, but it's one of those things we're still going to watch it anyway because it is so terrible.
Yeah, I mean that's I don't know. It's one of those things. It's always like as long as it's Star Wars, I'm going to enjoy it.
Well, speaking
even the terrible cartoons I made fun of earlier.
I was like, speaking of movies that aren't going to get released, The Interview.
Oh, got it. So
the Interview. So they announced today that The Interview is not going to be released. The North Korea James Franco Seth Rogen movie. This was supposed to come out on Christmas Day. That seems like a weird Christmas Day movie right there.
No, I think it's, everyone has a day off. It's a big weekend.
Yeah.
I would have gone.
Yeah.
Christmas Day. Yeah. All right, kids, open your presents. Come on, we got a 10 a.m. Show to catch.
We got stuff to do.
Yeah. So now is your Christmas ruined now that it's not coming out?
I would say yeah. I got to get my Seth Rogen on Christmas.
Yeah. All right, so I guess the bigger issue is so Sony and their systems were hacked. All these emails are getting released. It's like nothing really too crazy has come out yet. It just shows that movie execs are a bunch of assholes, which I kind of think is what
they released social security numbers.
Yeah.
And,
is that stuff? No, I've just been hearing excerpts from like interdepartmental emails. I didn't know about that stuff.
I was they're getting a lot of threats online and stuff, like violence towards movie theaters, which is kind of a big deal.
Well, that was this thing. Yeah, why they pulled it is because they made like a generic 9/11 type threat to movie theaters, and the Christmas Day release of saying if you live near a theater, you better get out, like stuff like that. It's you make it sound like it's dumb, but I mean, reality people are nuts. Like it's Yeah, and I mean, something still could happen.
I'm disappointed that movies don't come out at the same time too. If it's it's kind of like I don't want to say great good, but I mean, if there's a risk, I'd rather not take it and have something bad happen. Because I mean, movie theaters are already like super.
On edge.
Yeah, because I mean, there's no more midnight shows.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know why? because that one.
Aurora.
Yeah.
No, way. The midnight shows, there's already like 8 p.m., 7 p.m. Those were happening long before that.
Yeah, but there's no more midnight shows though. Now they're exclusive screenings. They call them. There's no more midnight movies. There's no more like midnight shows anymore, dude.
Did Aurora happen at midnight?
That was which one's the Batman one?
Yeah,
it was Batman.
That one. Yeah. That was on there. Yeah, I think that was a midnight.
But wasn't that like it was like a 10 p.m. showing because we were there, or it might not have been. It was Jeff and I. That's what Jeff and I saw it. Because I remember calling him because I got out and when I turned on the radio, they were doing a news break or whatever, and I remember calling him and saying like, "Oh shit!" Like while we were in there, this was going down.
Okay.
But
I just know that I think that's like one of the reasons why they don't do midnight shows anymore. Is to like, I don't know.
Where did you hear that from?
It's just, I mean, ever since like that.
Because I still think that there are. Like I feel like we've been to some. I've seen them happening for
I think
other
there are,
movies.
but I think that generally,
generally, I feel like most movies because like it used to be like every like Thursday, like during summertime, like there'd be midnight shows like every week.
But they're like sneak peeks.
Yeah.
Now,
so now
right?
like they're like let's say it came out like on Friday. It's like Thursday night, like at 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 o'clock, like 10. 10's like the latest, I think sometimes. But I think Edwards goes all the way till like later on. But I don't know. It's just a weird thing that I've noticed that there's not a whole lot of midnight shows anymore because I work late and it's like, oh, let's go at midnight. And it's like it started at 10 o'clock. It started at 8 o'clock. So that's something that I noticed. It's something maybe you should look into.
Yeah, I don't know. I never noticed that correlation, but yeah, I should definitely look into it because that's shitty to live in like a fear state that like it wasn't a midnight showing. It was a crazy guy went to a theater where it was like, what do they call them? It's like soft targets or something like that. It was some weird designation for like parades and farmers markets and classrooms and things like that, where it's like people aren't expecting to be attacked.
Right.
It's it's a group of people. It's easy to cause that kind of chaos. But
I don't know. I might be a standalone, but I kind of feel like just say F them all and keep doing it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Isn't that the American way?
Yeah, go back to work. Yeah. Go back to your lives. I mean, it's
like didn't they say don't rebuild on the Twin Towers and rebuilt 10 years later on the Twin Towers?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's kind of the American way. We're gonna let North Korea tell us not to release a movie.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of a terrible thing.
Saying these really conservative things today, like, "Oh, we let the terrorists win."
I say that every day. But gas prices, bottle of Coke goes
which are down.
I want to
It's
go
raining outside. The terrorists won.
I want to go fight with my fucking redneck cousins that are always like, yeah, fuck Obama. The price of the gas is twice what it was before. It's like, well, actually, it's half of what it was when Bush was in office, and now that it's under $3 a gallon. Are you singing his praises yet? No? You're going to blame him when it's high, but you're not going to thank him when it's low? It's like...
I don't think it's any of their faults.
Exactly. It's
he actually has no influence on the gas price.
Absolutely, yeah.
Zero.
But that's my white trash cousins from Clovis. Like, you just can't convince them.
I'm from Clovis now, come on.
But you're not my white trash cousin. I'm from Clovis, but come on. Yeah.
I think all of us for Aaron are from Clovis, so... And Aaron is our...
Yeah.
It's like saying this.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to talk.
And Aaron, what's your background there? You're probably people that are the ones controlling the...
Nice.
Yes. And we went there.
So can they see Aaron? Or no?
They can see the back of his head.
Okay. So I'm saying like now we're just... we're not just talking about a random person.
So time out. So we're joined now by audio engineer Aaron. Who's,
extraordinaire.
Yes.
Who has no microphone. Probably can't be heard, but that's okay.
You can just shout.
He said, thank you, Matt, very much for inviting me to the show. Thank you, Aaron. I have been working out.
Wait, what? No.
Yeah. So hopefully the audio levels will be more even and you'll be able to hear us better. There's been a couple... Is
that what I'm here for?
Yeah. No, there's been a few times of like trying to cut together, whatever we've recorded, and like it's either too low or it's too loud, or they're like it'll sound great when I'm editing it, and then I go put it on iTunes and I'm trying to listen to my car, and like I gotta max out the volume just to hear anything. Yeah. So,
parts of it are in Spanish.
Yeah. I don't even know how that happened.
Tell us when we do that.
Yeah.
Tell us when we go to Spanish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to be like, and Aaron, they don't see him, so it looks like I'm talking to someone like in TV land.
Our podcast. Yeah, they aren't going to see anything. Yeah, on the podcast.
True. It is a podcast, but there's cameras everywhere. So
anyway, so there's Aaron. You might hear.
So we acknowledge Aaron's alive.
There'll be a chuckle in the background.
Yeah. And we're not just talking about random listeners or viewers named Aaron.
Yeah. So and we should probably. remember last time saying, "Oh, we should say this at the beginning instead of waiting till the end," and then we waited till the end. But so we are NoTownNerds, yeah, and you can find us on.
Start it over.
Okay, so what is this? What 20 minutes in? 15 minutes in?
It's better than last time. So.
Okay, so you can you can find us on iTunes and Stitcher and YouTube and CMAC. There you go. So CMAC is public access TV here in Fresno, and I have no idea what time we air. It's probably going to be 2 or 3 in the morning.
It's really not, yeah.
Yeah, but you can check us out on YouTube. And
Set your DVR.
You can't.
Set your apps.
Not yet, but you soon you'll be able to. Yeah.
We should figure out what time we play.
We can ask. We can just ask them
If
to have.
only someone was there all the time.
No, we can just literally. So this is not a conversation for the middle of the show, but later on we'll come up. We'll find a time and we'll update Twitter and all that with. We're on Twitter too. So anyway, so we'll update it with our if we have a regular time and hour, date, and all that kind of stuff. We can just pick something. Because
at 3:17 a.m. on Thursdays, on revolving Thursdays, you can see our show.
The third Thursday of the 4th month. So right now it just kind of airs randomly on CMAC, but we're on demand on YouTube and Stitcher and iTunes.
We're on there, not on demand.
So
North Korea.
Anything else? Did I catch it all?
I think we're done with North Korea.
Yeah, so move on. Yeah. Okay, so cosplay cons.
Explain to our listeners what cosplay is if they don't know. Or you can, actually.
Cosplay is costume play. Simply put.
All right.
Just dress up like it's Halloween and go have fun.
But it's a little bit more costume business for you, right?
For me...
Your brothers, anybody? No? Yeah, okay.
For me, there is a business aspect to it. I am the U.S. rep for a company in Indonesia called Jtoku Costumes.
Wow.
And they're actually the ones that made my Goldar head to toe. And they put out some amazing, amazing work. I wish I had more to bring with me, but it's expensive.
I'm going to grab your helmet here.
Okay.
Bye, Matt.
For the audio listeners here.
It looks really cool.
What are you holding, Matt?
No, you're fine. It's really sturdy. It's just craft foam, so it's super light.
That's so cool.
That is going to be terrifying on TV.
Yeah, especially with this GoPro right there.
It's
wide lens, dude.
Yeah.
Some stoner at 3 a.m. is going to turn on the TV like, what the hell is that?
Especially if it's on mute almost. What the fuck?
But yeah, so I'm their U.S. rep. Basically, people can order through me. If they have any questions about their order, about the product, anything like that, they message me direct. It's much better communication as far as the language barrier goes. They don't have to deal with someone who's 75% fluent in English, whereas I can translate what they say pretty well anyway. I just have a knack for that. And I make a commission off of whatever I sell. There's no additional amount on top of what it's sold for. I sell it for the same price that they do. They just kick me down a little bit for doing it. And then I also work with Kerrigan Mahan, which is the voice of Goldar, the only voice of Goldar ever. And we do videos and things of that nature, do conventions together.
And they're hilarious. So does this company, do they have like a set list of what they make, or can you like make requests, or how does it
They
work?
can make anything you want. Anything. Cool. They mainly specialize in armor, so anything that's armored, that's amazing.
Yeah. So when I was talking about trying to make the NovaCore stuff, Dan, who I was talking to, it was cool what they were gonna make, but there was still so much more to be done, and my budget's not grand enough to be able to spend. I think it was like it was a few $100s on just like the chest like armor piece. I still had to come up with the rest of everything else.
Just make it out of cardboard, man. Just get the really awesome chest piece, like a helmet, and you're set.
But even that takes like a little bit of time and skill. It's just skill.
Takes a lot.
Yeah.
No, that means cosplay's cool because it's
there's definitely the arts and crafts like skill. Like you're going back of like trying to draw out the shapes and then cut out that same exact shape the way it's supposed to be. Yeah. Trying to put together this puzzle piece and
Pepakura. That's the way to go. If you want to do it yourself, it's Pepakura.
So what's that?
Basically what that is people have taken a 3D model and broken it down into how you can make it out of paper.
Okay.
And so
I think
it
I saw
has
something. I saw somebody make the
tabs.
Master Chief outfit.
Exactly.
With it,
It has tabs with numbers. You cut the pieces out of the paper. You fold them a certain way. It has, I think it's a line and a dot repeated is like a valley fold. So you fold it up. And then if it's just a whole bunch of lines, then it's a mountain fold. Stuff like that. And then you just match the numbers up, super glue it together. And the end result is amazing.
So it's just like paper then, is it?
Yeah, it's just paper, and then what you
It's
do
like
is
some line paper. Be sick.
well, you can do it out of cardboard too, so you can trace those onto cardboard.
I guess that's more practical, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or you just do the paper, and then what we do is we fiberglass it and Bondo it.
Wow.
And then
That's cool.
there's a lot of work that goes into it. A lot of people think I'm one of those elitists because of
the quality.
There's people that say that cosplay is only top of the line costumes and you have to have put thousands of hours into your costumes and that's the only way to get into cosplay. Whereas I think it's more just go have fun. Like dancing. If you're having fun, who cares? So a lot of people think I'm an elitist, but I'm not. My costumes just happen to be a lot of money.
A lot better. That's cool. I see it like cosplay as being more of like a DIY like a DIY type of thing. Like, if you do like on the weekend for funsies, I think it's cool. That's what I like about it. It's kind of like a.
It's basically Halloween anytime you want.
It's like a hobby.
Yeah.
You can just thing.
And if you go to LA often, there's a convention every weekend, just about. So.
Because there's already like the big stable names or whatever of like Comic-Con and WonderCon and all that that's down south, but there was something just another month ago was it was like Stanley's Kamikaze, there you go. Yeah, there was the Power Morphicon is another we've been talking about ZapCon being in Fresno, and that's pretty cool, and it's sad to see Anyjam go, but it's like if we could keep ZapCon going, it'd be nice to have a Fresno con, something here that could be a regular one like that people can start to count on. Well, I'm going to be in Sacramento this weekend and Fresno this weekend and then LA then the weekend after that. You know?
Well, ZapCon is having a year 2. They met their goal and they're putting on a year 2. I think they were like 10% over what they expected.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, and they pretty much said that if we break even, we'll do it again. So, or no, they expected to lose. I'm sorry. They said that they were looking at it like a business model. So your first year, you're expected to lose, I think it's 7 or 15% or something like that. And they exceeded losing. So they actually broke even, if not better.
That's great.
So they said for sure they're doing year 2. And
I was there to cover it, and I interviewed one of the organizers, and he couldn't tell me if they were going to have another one or not. He was like, "It's too early. It's too early. I'm not going to say anything." And
was that Sammy or David? Or?
It was a tall, skinny white guy.
David.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember David. His name. Yeah.
Great guy.
Yeah, but the whole thing I thought was great. I saw a lot of families there and things like that, and it's cool just to see everybody that it brought out. Just these different. There was the cosplayers there, and everything. It was a much smaller version of the cons that I've been to in the bigger cities, but it's just great that we got something going on in Fresno.
And it's in your backyard.
Yeah. So
they were generous enough to let me have a booth there, so I could display the shields, the Power Ranger shields that I have for J-Toku.
Nice.
That's cool. Yeah,
and I brought the Power Rangers out for him. I brought out Blake Foster, which was I don't know if you guys watched Power Rangers when you were kids.
Original one.
You remember the car one? It was Power Rangers Turbo, and there was a little kid that was a Power Ranger.
Okay,
Okay, that's Blake Foster.
Okay, cool.
So got him to come out and got Kerrigan to come out.
Did you ever meet Stuart Kwan?
No. No.
Do you know who that is? Or you?
I
the Red Ranger.
Vaguely.
So he was
inside the mask.
Yeah, the stunt.
Going to his
stunt
dojo and then having a sign.
He
that says,
passed away.
Red Ranger. Did he?
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh yeah, it was like 10 years ago, something
years
like that.
ago.
Yeah, he had a heart attack or something like that, or a car accident. Was it a car accident?
Stop this podcast.
I think it was natural, something natural.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm thinking of? It was the
Super Depressed episodes.
Well, I was saying the Yellow Ranger from the first
Floyd
one.
Jack.
She died on the 5, like not too far from here or whatever.
She got hit by a drunk driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So man, that shit. But
Well, anyway.
speaking of that sad thing,
So are they? No, are they? I heard or I saw this article where they're going to be like combining all the Power Rangers into one episode again, like all past incarnations.
Basically, what that is you have
It's awesome.
you have Sentai, which is the Japanese Power Rangers.
Okay.
That's where it all started back in the 70s.
Yeah.
The Mighty Morphin that we watch today, or that we watched as kids, that was actually aired in the 70s in Japan. And they just take that footage and remaster it here. But what that is the...
Your mind's blown now. Yeah.
So the Sentai was Gokaiger. And in that series, they were basically space pirates, and that's the season that's on here now. And they were traveling the universe trying to find the greatest treasure. Best
awesome.
Sentai that there is out there is Gokaiger. If you really want to see some amazing stuff, it's geared towards adults. It's not geared towards kids like Power Rangers is. But basically, they were going around collecting all the powers from the past Rangers, and they could transform into them by using the keys. Cool. And so what that is that's an episode where it's called The Great War, and yeah, they all the powers come back, and then they fight the bad guys.
And Tommy comes back.
But they are doing a remake of the original Power Ranger movie with Lionsgate.
Huh.
Lionsgate and Saban.
New actors.
Yeah, new actors. I believe they're going to have some of the original actors back as like mentors or something like that. They're
That's cool.
Some
a
kind of
lot older
cameo
now.
somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's going to be a remake of the original, so it's not an all-new Power Rangers. It's going to be the original Power Rangers, but probably a different storyline a little bit. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. It'll be professional.
So what season are, like, do they even call them seasons, or they're just like series?
Yeah, there's season series.
So what season are they on, like, now?
Right now, it is Super Mega Force. And the next one coming out is Dino Charge? Yeah, Dino Charge.
Yeah.
So they go to dinosaurs every 20 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because so watching that Kids React, it was recorded this month. Yeah, but it did make me feel a little old because they were talking about
20 years.
like they're talking to the kids. Yeah, saying 20 years ago, but they're talking to the kids, and it was like, oh wait, so when you were my age, and I'm thinking like, oh, the guys making it are probably like my age here, and it's like, oh damn, yeah. I mean, it's
what have I done?
But you can imagine. I mean, I don't know how I was with you, but like in elementary school, like on the playground, and everybody had the toys, and it was great to be 7, 8 years old, and that was it. That was what you wanted. But they talked a lot about how it was seen as being too violent for kids.
Yeah, they did a study way back in the day. And my wife, she actually wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers because of this study. Her mom didn't allow her to watch it. But what they did was they took a group of kids and they put them in 2 separate rooms. One room, they watched Power Rangers, and in the other room, they watched Barney.
Oh, wow.
And the kids watching Barney were basically sitting in circles singing Kumbaya, eating carrot sticks. And the Power Ranger kids were fighting and, having fun. Like kids.
Yeah.
The way kids should be doing.
So it was viewed as too violent. But really, if you look at it, they use violence as a last resort. It's never first, there's a bad guy, let's beat him up. It's, hey, what's this guy doing? Is he up to no good, or is he a good guy? It was never, let's go beat him up.
And the non-violence was really boring, then let's face it.
Yeah.
Cool? All right, see you later.
But so my wife, she's like Catholic schoolgirl when it comes to Power Rangers, where she wasn't allowed to watch it. We got together again, got married and everything, and she said, well, I need to be interested in something that you're interested in, this Power Rangers. Just threw something out there. I hadn't watched it in years.
Yeah.
So she watched it, got hooked, so much so that our honeymoon was Power Morphicon 3.
Oh, man.
And the whole reason we were going to go was to see Jason David Frank, which was the Green Ranger on the show. He canceled. We almost didn't go. And then last minute we were like, well, we paid for the tickets. We got the hotel room already. Let's just go. So we went. We met 6 other people, normies. And
you don't have a name for Power Ranger fans? No?
Regular folk.
But anyway, they got us into cosplay. They already had the suits and everything, and that's Alliance Cosplay. We have a group cosplay page, and it's Alliance Cosplay, and we go around to different states, meet up, and go to conventions.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, every time I've been to a con, it's always in the back of my mind. I'm looking around. It's like, I wish I was dressed up. Like, I just look at it like, that's just the kid in me. I love, that's the part I love of like Halloween, is like getting into the characters, but like not just being dressed up as anything, but like something that like I'm a fan of, that you can go and like, you know, not necessarily sell that character, but just like share in that fandom. I think it's a little bit why we talked about going to like the midnight showings. Yeah. It's like you're surrounded by people that are on the same level of being a fan as you are, and you all get to nerd out together, and that's just the best part of it. Especially when you get like people that start to dress up as like really obscure characters and things like that, stuff like little one-off mentions, and then you get it, and it's like you just feel that I don't know, the camaraderie or whatever that
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it ruins Halloween though.
Really?
Yeah, you can't wear that out on Halloween.
Why not?
That's true.
No way. I wear that to a bar. That's a $3,200 costume.
What's the matter with you?
But I mean, I'm sorry. When you said Halloween, I'm thinking when you have kids, you're like trick or treating with your kids in that thing.
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask something related, but different.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So are you exposing your kids to Power Rangers?
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. Yeah, they love it.
That's not too violent. They're not getting into fights at school because they're having to defend Zordon.
We turned out all right.
Yeah, my
Speak for yourself.
no, my son, he's a great student, great kid. My daughter, that's a different story. She's a little terror, but hopefully she grows out of that. She's my payback. I got expelled from kindergarten, in case nobody knew that.
So. He didn't come up in the background check. No.
I don't know
Power Rangers. Yeah.
But yeah, so she's my payback, but she's gonna be what she's gonna be. I don't think Power Rangers would influence that one way or another.
Oh.
Do they dress up?
Yeah, yeah.
Have you ever done a family cosplay yet?
Well, not like a group photo type thing, or like related costumes where like we go out as the Incredibles or anything like that.
That would be kind of awesome. Yeah, you got to do that. Though.
Write that down.
Come on. Yeah. Of course, the Venture Brothers. Have you ever seen that? Do you watch that show? Yeah. So that's their like running gag of, you know, last year it was the Fantastic Four and Batman. Hank's always dressing up as Batman. You got to have something like that. It'd be totally great to go dress up as like, you know, the Star Wars characters and then Batman. Have your son just Batman.
Yeah, we have a Batman in our group.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a really good Batman.
Yeah.
Shout out to Danny.
Yeah. I'm still on the fence about that Novacore thing. I really want to make it. I really want to just, because that's my goal. I'm just going to make this, and even if I never wear it again, of course, I'm going to fucking wear it all the time if I spend that much time and effort to make it. But,
yeah, we'll have to revisit that and see if we can go a different route. Or maybe since there will be more time, I'm sure the cost will go down a little bit, because that was kind of a rush.
So do you send your measurements or something?
Yeah, it's 100% made to your body. So you send your measurements, and they basically build a scale dummy of you. And then, so if you get a measurement wrong, but they're usually pretty good about that. They usually send back and say, this one seems kind of odd. I don't think they're pear-shaped. I don't think that's normal shape.
I don't have 4 legs. Speak for yourself.
Man.
So they're pretty good about that.
Yeah. So was that Paramorphicon? Was that your first con that you ever went to?
That was 2012. Yeah, that was my first convention ever.
Oh,
my wife's.
So it's still fairly recent development here. Yeah. Wow.
But since then, we've been to Chicago, Lexington, Kentucky, Phoenix, Arizona, LA almost twice a month, once or twice a month, every month. We've been everywhere. Vegas, we went to the Star Trek convention because my aunt got married at the Star Trek convention, and we went as our Star Wars characters. That's when I debuted my Wookiee.
Yeah. Was there any animosity?
Whenever I go to Vegas, I have to be with you.
No, Star Trek fans usually say, "Oh yeah, well I like them both."
I always
really work for
hold on.
Hold on.
I always argue that they exist in the same universe.
I'm going to stop you there.
No, they exist in the same universe.
No.
Star Wars happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and Star Trek is set in the future. They can exist in the same universe. It is entirely plausible. Worse, crazier things have happened in both series.
So you're saying Star Trek is more advanced and
It's set in the future.
That's what you're saying. And
No.
I appreciate your tone.
I'm saying they exist in the same universe.
I hear you, but I don't hear you.
No, I'm not picking a side. I enjoy both. I am a fan of both, and I totally will argue that they.
Yeah, I enjoy both too, but one's better, obviously. So. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and it's Star Trek.
oh no.
Anyway, moving out of the let's go back to talking about North Korea. That was less of a dangerous subject.
Or Gamergate, that's even less dangerous.
Yeah. God. Okay, so WonderCon, you've been to that one?
Yeah. We've been to WonderCon twice.
Did you go to when it was in San Francisco at all, or just in Anaheim?
No, just Anaheim. That was before Power Morphicon the first time.
Okay, yeah. So that's that. Oh yeah. I didn't think about the year. Anyway,
it was like start all of this.
What's that?
2012.
In 2012.
Yeah,
okay.
August 2012.
Yeah. Come on, it just happened.
Just talked about this.
Because it was like 2009.
I think it was 09.
9 was like the first year we went for like 3 years in a row.
Some of that.
Yeah, to WonderCon, but it was still in San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
And so that was part of the trip, was like going up to the Bay and getting to hang out in that part of town and taking Bart around and things like that. It was just I don't know. I think it wasn't just going there for the con. It was all the other weird shit in San Francisco. Yeah.
I think what happened was they outgrew the venue.
Well, that's not what they've said, but that's probably more likely. Like they always said.
What did they say?
So the first year they said that they were doing renovations at the Moscone Center.
That's right.
So they had to move it.
That's
right. And then they're like, well, there wasn't a date available. And it's like, you're bringing a shit ton of money. I'm sure they would have helped you with whatever date in spring. Yeah. And so it's like, when you go look at it, that Anaheim Convention Center is huge. It's way bigger than the Moscone Center.
And it's so nice.
Yeah. The actual floor is huge. Mm-hmm. The arena, though, where they have some of the bigger events, is kind of weird that it's that big, like, oval, it's like football shaped, like arena, but it's like basketball and stuff is played in there, yeah. But, I mean, it worked. You're in, like, weird bleachers and all that to go see it, but it sucks that it's, they're looking at the wide part of this oval, it's dead center. And so if you're at one of the sides, you're really looking at somebody from the side. You can't actually get a good angle on like the projector screen and things like that. So if you don't get a decent seat, you can kind of get hosed on it. But the floor, just the amount of people, had been 2 or 3 times more than what they had when it was in San Francisco.
It's huge. Yeah. WonderCon is huge.
I just like San Francisco more. So.
Yeah, I don't know, and it sucks that it's. I mean, so the whole facility is cool, but it's across the street from Disneyland.
It's actually not that bad.
But I mean, it's still like it affects the hotel prices and things like that. That it can be, because it's near Disneyland, you're already going to pay that resort fee or whatever it is. What
was the cost of a hotel in San Francisco, if you can remember off the top of your head?
We stayed at like a nice place, but we piled like 6 people in there.
Right.
I want to say
it
might have been like.
To do it.
And then we also we had a friend that works for the company.
Yeah. So we were getting like the employee discount.
Oh, so you get the discount anyway.
Yeah, so we had the discount, and that was another thing too. Yeah, so we had like it was this hook up at the hotel, and then we had it was a nicer place. It was nearby and things like that. So we weren't staying at some seedy motel somewhere and doing it that way. But
I mean, we're talking like 140, 150.
Oh, it might have been like, well, I don't remember what it was per night, but I think it was like, it might have been a couple $100, $300 or $400 for 3 or 4 days or something like that. So
like
maybe it was $120 a night, whatever. Which is, I mean, it's.
I think I remember paying like $60 total for the whole thing.
For your 1/6 share.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
So.
Yeah, because I mean, if you book far enough in advance for any convention, the nicer hotels around there, they usually have a con special or a con rate, and it's usually 100, 150 a night.
Yeah. I saw
that's like a
was it the Hilton or whatever that's right there next to it in Anaheim?
Yeah, there's the Hilton, the Marriott.
I think the Hilton was like the con hotel, and they had some pretty good deals.
expensive. I mean, the Hilton prices are pretty high.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like $200 a night.
Yeah.
Last we looked, so we stay at the Marriott.
Was that going through the WonderCon website or just on their own?
Even not going through the website, we've done it both ways. But staying at the Marriott, they have 2 locations there. They have the main hotel that's right next to it, and then they have one diagonal from the parking lot. And it's a little bit cheaper back there, but it's still the same quality.
I think I've stayed at that other one.
Yeah. The only thing that sucks about LA, Anaheim, is that you're paying $20, $25 a night to park. I don't know how San Francisco is about that, but...
Well, see, we would drop our car off in Dublin and jump on BART and take that in.
There you go.
And so you're paying...
You can't really do that in LA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Maybe get an Uber.
It was like, we had this like loophole. It was pretty awesome that like it was a BART station. It was $1 to park for like 24 hours, and then it was free to park for the weekend. So we'd like roll up on Thursday, park.
That's a good deal.
And, jump on BART and go wherever we needed to go with that, and it was good. It was a good setup, But God, what was it? 2010 or something like that. We Miami Connection. Remember?
Oh yeah,
we went to this like shitty little theater in the Mission District.
The oldest, I think it was the oldest independent theater in America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say shitty little theater. It was small. It was still a nice place. I don't want to. I still am on their mailing list and all that. But
for now,
for now.
Once they hear this episode, man, it's all over.
Yeah. No, but it was
little
good.
podcast, right? Whatever.
Wait, so I was trying to find like other stuff for us to do when we were done with the con, and I ended up seeing this movie night, and it's like last minute everybody's like, okay, it's cool. Like it seems kind of crazy enough movie. Let's go check it out. It ended up being like fucking super hilarious, and then they served beer.
It was like the best like movie going experience I've had like ever.
It's just really terrible. It's called Miami Connection, and it's really crappy taekwondo fighting against like cocaine dealers in South Orlando or something like that. It's a really weird movie, but it was really so badly done that you just laughed the whole time at it. But do you remember the guy tried to like christen it or something? He tried to like break a champagne bottle or beer bottle, and it wouldn't break. Yeah. So he just kept throwing it around the theater, trying to shatter it on like the wooden like little panel on the side or whatever, and it just wouldn't break. And I just remember just laughing. I don't know. It was really hard at that.
The whole experience is just. Yeah.
You'd hear the bass from the bar next door that shared a wall, stuff like that. They sold beers in the theater.
No, you went to the store next door and they turned their head and you bring it in. Yeah, that's what happened.
Even better.
Yep.
Yeah. So
we need one of those theaters where they serve dinner and you can get drinks.
The Alamo Draft House, is that right?
Yeah. But they're not going to build in San Francisco though.
Yeah.
See?
Which that's not here.
Reason to go to San
Francisco.
Yeah. I know, it's true.
Yeah. So it's probably never going to go back to San Francisco. It's probably going to stay in Anaheim.
Yeah, it's gone. I mean, it's so big, I don't think they can go back.
So what do you think about Comic-Con in San Diego?
I won't go.
Yeah, it's too much.
Because it's in San Diego, because it's at capacity.
No, I love San Diego. I just don't like that they took away weekend badge sales. You can only buy a day at a time, so you're not guaranteed to get the whole weekend. It sells out within 2 minutes online.
Yeah, that's all.
It's a joke.
Yeah. Well, because they're at capacity. That's what I mean. They just there's no more room down there. So it's been talk for the last few years of moving it to Vegas or moving it to Anaheim, just bigger facilities. I mean, just imagine how much better it could be, how much more money they would make by moving it. But
I think the staple is San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. But San Diego would suffer without it, because for all of the money that it brings in, the cloud of it. I mean, I would say that it would suffer, but they would feel that loss.
Yeah,
they would feel that loss.
Definitely.
Yeah, but it's.
Because, I mean, if they're at capacity, that brings so many people to hotels, to restaurants, to getting fuel there. To
around the area.
Yeah, everyone. Gas lamp district.
Everyone profits. Yeah. Taxi cab drivers probably profit. The guys on bikes with little wagons.
Rickshaws. There you go.
Yeah, rickshaws.
All right, so when you go to a con and you're cosplaying, what's your procedure there? Because you can't exactly show up in the Wookiee costume. And you're not valeting your car at that point, right? And stepping out in full costume.
No, usually with mine, we have them in their containers. If it's a con that we drove to, like LA or Vegas, we usually have tubs that we have them in. We get there and dress in the parking lot and then go in. Or carry everything closer to the lobby and then get dressed outside the lobby and make an entrance. Conventions where we have to fly, that that requires a lot more work.
Did you have to ship, or is it carry on?
It's cheaper to check the containers, oversized containers, than it is to ship them. Yeah. To ship to Kentucky, it was $350 one way to ship Goldar, and it's 3 packages.
It's like $50 a package or something like that extra, right? For most airlines.
Total, it was $75.
Oh shit.
One way. So $150 one way versus $350 one way, and I just had to trust that TSA wasn't going to cut it when they opened the box, which they didn't. They did a great job. I was surprised.
Wow.
It's foam. I mean, it's just craft foam wrapped in vinyl and latex, or not latex, spandex. That's all it is. So it's not fragile by any sense of the word. But the Wookiee, on the other hand, that one's got fiberglass and hair, and there's a lot that could go wrong with that one. We haven't had to ship it yet, thankfully, but we'll see.
Yeah. So with your circles that you're in, the cosplaying community, I mean, I'm trying to think of, like, you guys are pretty tight knit at that point. That it's like you got to see the same people everywhere you go. At that point, I mean, is it?
At first, it was a lot of different people, and then of course you start to see the same people, the same names popping up, and we have a certain group of friends that we hang out with every con, and some are big, some are not big.
Yeah. Do you ever have a handler when you're walking around? Because I know, like, you know, the Disney mascots have somebody that'll come out and make sure that nobody's kicking them in the nuts and things like that. Yeah. I mean,
when we first started, I was the handler. So my wife got her pink Power Ranger costume, and then I was the handler for the entire group, probably for the first year. So I've really only been in costume a year and a half. And then once I stepped into costume, I can't step out. I can't handle again. I enjoyed it a lot, and that's the only thing that I thought I ever wanted to do, was be the muscle behind the group, you know, commanding the traffic. Because with the Power Ranger stuff, we actually get mobbed. People come up and stop us and surround us.
You'll be there for days taking pictures, right?
Yeah. At WonderCon, it took us an hour and 15 minutes to get from the fountain out front into the doors of the lobby.
What would you say that's 100 feet?
Not even.
Feet? Yeah.
It's maybe 50 feet, 50 steps or so. So probably 150 feet. Yeah.
But that's so when I went this past year, that's where everybody was kind of congregating, that there was like those amphitheater, the risers, whatever. People were all taking all sorts of group photos and things like that out there.
And that was before I got Goldar.
Oh, wow.
Now that I have Goldar, we can't move anywhere. I have to take off pieces and say no. And I hate saying no when I'm in costume, but if a little kid comes up, we'll throw it all on real quick, take a picture. The couple people that are in the area will take the pictures, and then we'll dart off.
But you can't walk around in full costume because you'll just get stopped. So you have to take the helmet off. You have to be like, oh, I'm on break. I'm on timeout. I got to keep going.
Yeah, but usually we tell them. I mean, I've done 16 hours straight in Goldar.
Yeah.
In Kentucky, I stayed up for 72 hours. Drinking, partying.
In Goldar?
I was drunk pretty much the whole time.
The beer bottle, like, inside the helmet, yeah.
I was pretty much drunk the whole time at Lexington, hanging out with Blake and Kerrigan and just all those guys. Great bunch of people. But 16 hours drunk in Goldar. But the good thing about Lexington, Kentucky around that time of year is it's snowing. So all I had to do was open a door and just stand there while we're taking pictures, and I was cooled down.
Yeah, so like at WonderCon this past year, were you just sweating the whole time when they were dying? I mean, it was nice, but it wasn't cool enough that when you're wearing all those layers, right?
Yeah, no. Goldar isn't actually that hot. It breathes pretty well because it is just foam. But if you get standing still or having to hold the pose for a while, it gets pretty hot and sweaty.
That's something that I noticed with a lot of people, is like they'll walk up in an intersection and then they'll pose and they'll pose and pose and then they just walk away. So everybody's still taking pictures and they're just, fuck you, like they're just moving on. Yeah, and you just get stuck.
I just can't do it.
Yeah.
Part of it is because a lot of the Power Ranger fandom, I would say a majority, but a small majority, they are like special needs or not exactly I don't know how to put it.
I think we got you.
Yeah. So to say no to them, you're kind of crushing everything that they love, and I can't do it.
But even it's still gonna make you feel good though to know that like you're bringing that joy to them.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
That you're not that character by any means. You weren't on this show, nothing like that. But just you in that costume at that moment, and you are Goldar to them. Yeah.
And you'd be surprised how many people can't separate the reality from the fantasy. Like there's people that have come up to me and ran away because they actually thought I was Goldar. Didn't realize I was there with the Power Rangers, and then they see me and it's like,
and they could have saved you, but I mean,
but yeah,
but I mean that's like an intimidating costume though. I mean, even, I don't know.
It's so much fun though.
Okay, so I'll pose this question to everybody. So if money's not an object. You got a company like your one there that'll make any costume you want, make it to exactly your specs. What do you go as?
Bad girl. I don't know. Probably. I don't know. Batman, I guess. Actually, I kind of like Batman. Kind of cool. Fun. Yeah.
It's tough to put it down on any one of them because it's just so many that it would just be awesome to go around rocking that costume. But
Doomsday from Injustice, the game.
Yeah.
That's a costume I want bad.
It seems like that'd be just
or Killer Croc.
Really hard to do.
Yeah. I still think like Iron Man or something like that, just that full body suit, something that you can like pose and it lights up and all that. I just think that'd be super awesome. Just run around like in something like that. I don't know. Even like I was gonna say like Pacific Rim of like the Power Rangers, those giant like robots. Like you could pull off something like that, and I think it would be really awesome. Yeah.
Or a Sentinel or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That'd be neat.
Yeah, and of course, I mean Stormtrooper. I think. Yeah.
You blend a crowd.
But, yeah. The first time, sorry, I cut you off there. Did you have some?
It's really bad. General Grievous.
As long as you get all the hands at one time.
So would you still stick with Goldar, or is there Doomsday?
Yeah, Doomsday. Yeah. Doomsday. I mean, I have the dream costume of mine, and now it's time to move on to another dream.
So it's like, is Doomsday next?
Yeah. No, Doomsday is not anywhere on the radar. No. But if money wasn't an object, then yeah.
Is it gonna be Zed now?
No.
What's it, Gordon or
Zordon? Yeah.
Next is we're gonna redo the Wookiee from head to toe.
Okay.
Completely redo it. I feel that the way it is now is good, but it was a first attempt, and I don't think it's 501st ready, the costume club. So we're going to redo it and then submit and hopefully get approved for the 501st before Celebration in March.
Cool. That's cool.
March.
Yeah. I still really want to make costume. Novacore is definitely on there. I was thinking back. So my friend Preston, I remember Preston King. So Preston used to live up in Berkeley, and he's the first one that told me about WonderCon. So we went the first year just for a day, and we were talking about it in the day or two before, and trying to figure out how we could quickly make the Monarch's henchmen from the Venture Brothers, the butterflies. Yeah, how could we do that? And we're talking about trying, like he was gonna try and get some place up there, somebody he knew could make us. Like leotards basically that we would put on and then put like shorts on over them, so we'd have like the black coming out and all that. And then I remember going to like Big Five and stuff like that and trying to find like the balaclavas that you could put on, and I'm just looking at this and I'm like, I'm just gonna be sweating the whole time. I'm wearing all this like winter clothes and like running around, I'm just gonna be sweating, but
layers.
It would just be so awesome to like pull that off. And then we went and there were fucking butterflies everywhere. There was grown men in their butterfly costumes running around with their shitty little guns that looked just like the show. And it's like, that could have been us. And it's like, and it totally would have been like, we're walking down the street and would have seen them and totally would have like met up and taken a picture or whatever. It would have been great
instantly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it's just so funny, especially when like you've got 2 here and 2 here and 2 here, and then now they're all together, and then you got a dozen of them, and they're walking around. And it's like you got your,
and then we'll have 12.
Yeah. It's like, what is it? Today you're not butterflies. Today you're murder flies. Yeah, but I don't know, man. It's got to be just so much fun, just to, especially when you start meeting up with people from the same the show or whatever it is that you're dressing up as, the same universe.
It's a blast. It's a blast. It's been even more fun because we've had the privilege of getting to be friends, personal close friends with the actual actors. People from the show that I idolized as a child, Walter Jones, Blake Foster, Austin St. John. I mean, we're friends with those people, and it's like, whoever would have thought 20 years from now that action figure that I was playing with is actually someone that I can just pick up the phone and talk to.
Yeah. So how did that happen? How did you actually make that connection?
Going to the conventions. I'm the only one in the world with a Goldar. So the one from the show got destroyed by Disney when Disney took over the franchise.
Oh wow!
You know, that whole new era, destroy everything from the past thing. There's pieces of it that still survived, but nothing.
They just saw no reason
major.
to keep it. Yeah.
Well, no, they wanted to destroy it because it wasn't a Disney creation. So they sold it back to Saban. Saban now has it again. But I'm the only one in the world with it. So it all started by Kerrigan saw it. Someone showed him a picture, and he said, I want to get in touch with that person. Do you know how? They contacted me. I happened to know them from a convention. And they said, hey, Kerrigan wants to get in touch with you. Don't know what he has in mind. So
he wants to murder you and steal your Goldar.
So I sent him an email.
Cut off his head.
But I sent him an email, and he sent me his phone number, said that he preferred to talk over the phone. And
did he call you in the voice?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
So I called him, and he goes, hello. I said, is this Kerrigan? Like, this is
a joke, right?
This is BS. There's no way that this is actually just, he gave me his number, doesn't even know anything about me, knows the fandom. Come on.
Yeah, all the crazy people out there. Yeah.
So he gave me his number, and I called him. He said, hey, this is Kerrigan. What's up? This is Dan with the Goldar. And he flipped out, and he did the voice. And then I knew it was legit. And then we probably talked for like an hour and a half on the phone, just talking about the costume, talking about all the possibilities of the things that we could do with him and I together as a team. And it just, from there, I started doing conventions with him. So any convention that we were both going to be at, I would come in the costume. We would do photo shoots. We would have like announcements and stuff like that. We would run around and have fun with it. He'd do the voice behind me, and I'd run around messing with people. And from there, it just blossomed. I mean, he knew awesome. All these people, sort of, and then just Power Rangers is getting big again. So everyone's kind of clicking back together, and we've just been lucky enough to be in the middle of it.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
You say Power Rangers getting big again. That seems to be a...
When were they not big?
Yeah, right? Yeah. What do you mean again? No, it seems to be like a theme now of like, all the shit that we loved when we were kids. People our age are in charge of a lot of things now, or being the ones creating shit. So of course we're all going back to what we loved as kids, what we what we know.
We make the BuzzFeed articles now.
Yeah,
we make the lists.
Yeah. So I know that's awesome, man. Just to see all this shit coming back, it's gonna be good.
Yeah, hopefully next ZapCon we'll be able to have more of the actors. Hopefully get Walter Jones out and maybe a couple others, but they're pretty booked. I mean, they're booked like every weekend now.
Oh, really?
That's how big Power Rangers is getting again.
Man, I didn't know about this up until maybe another like a year ago or something like that. But one of the guys that I work with goes to these conventions all the time, where they're just at like a hotel or something, and it's a bunch of celebrities, just random old TV stars get together, and they just sign autographs, and you pay, I think it's like a flat fee or something like that to get in. And then you might have to pay another fee, like per picture and things like that. But they'll let you take a picture with them, and they'll sign one of their little headshots, and you can go in. And it's tons of just random shows. Like they'll try and get like the cast of who's still alive of the Munsters, or just stuff like that. Just these random shows that used to be on for maybe even a season, here or there. But are they doing stuff like that, or are these like bigger, Power Ranger conventions?
Not necessarily Power Ranger conventions, but there's enough places with a demand for them that they're at conventions every weekend. Full on.
Doing like ZapCon equivalent kind of stuff, like smaller?
No, bigger.
Oh, wow.
Bigger scale. like Wizard World, they have a whole circuit across the entire country.
Oh, really?
They have a convention every weekend, it seems, and several of them are booked with Wizard World. Like Jason David Frank, he has a contract with Wizard World, and he's at a convention almost every weekend. Just a Wizard World convention somewhere in the States. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah. You think that, like, stuff like that ever goes through, like, the actors' minds at this point of, like, when they go onto the show, that it's like, oh, well, it's fine when this is over with because I could always look forward to traveling around the country
That's exactly what
and doing the same character over and over.
Yeah. I mean, and it really helps their career too, because they get that exposure to other actors, I mean, to other people in the industry, that those aren't necessarily ties that they would make anywhere else. I think that's an element that's kind of forgotten or not thought about, is that you can make connections to the movie industry just by going to a convention to have fun. And that's what we're doing. We've made ties to the TV series that's still airing today just from going and having fun. Like one of our friends, he's going to be the Blue Ranger on the next series. And I mean, he was a stunt actor and a suit actor at conventions. So he was a Power Ranger at conventions being paid by Saban to be in the costume. Well, now he's going to be the Blue Power Ranger on Dino Charge.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, he's in New Zealand right now filming.
So when should we expect to see you on the next Power Rangers?
The next
Never. I won't wear spandex.
So if you were to ever be offered something, would you go on there? Would you go on and play a monster or something like
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
Something,
I'd do it
something
for free. I'd do it
costume?
for free. Just pay my way. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a week off work and go film.
I mean, that'd be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it?
I would do that. So,
Yeah.
and might even just like.
Yeah. How much cheaper do you think that would that be to, like, hey, you want to be on TV? Well, here, we'll just pay for your airplane ticket and the hotel, and you just come down to sign this contract saying, well, we don't owe you shit, and then you can just come be on for a couple of days.
I mean, I'll even come on with my suit.
Go wear your Goldar costume on there?
Why not? Save money. They don't have to make another one.
Well,
But
so how close is yours to the original? Is there have you talked to anybody from the show that can compare?
Oh, yeah. Everyone that I've talked to from the show says that mine could walk on the set and start. The only difference is that mine is made out of foam and the original was made out of latex.
Okay.
So it was a full body latex suit that someone stepped into from behind.
That's got to be pretty
Mine
heavy.
is like 15 pieces. The mobility is a little restricting in mine. In that one, you're pretty much limited to whatever the latex restricts you, which I don't think is much. But I've been told I could walk on set and do it.
That's pretty awesome, man.
Any movie set.
Any set.
Any set anywhere.
Counts it happy.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right, so what's up next? We're got about a minute or so left here. So where are you off to next?
SAC Anime. I think it's SAC Anime. That's
That's an anime.
yeah. January 2nd through 4th. I think we're going up the 3rd just for the day. Kerrigan's going to be there and he wants us to come up. So we're going to go up and do that. And then WonderCon and then Celebration. And then after that, I don't know.
So
I'm hoping
March?
Lexington again. But yeah, March.
And so when is the Lexington?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's also March. March, April, somewhere in there. Snow, when it's snowing. So it has to be pretty
soon.
Pretty
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
July.
Yeah.
But best convention I've ever been to was Lexington, Kentucky.
Oh my god.
That was very loud.
Synchronize it.
Yeah. We got to figure out how to turn that part off. We need the
The
timer.
alarm part of your alarm.
Yeah. We need the timer, but without the noise. WonderCon is in March. Totally want to go to that. But I
Easter
also have.
weekend.
Yeah, I also have. There's a wedding in Seattle that I'm trying to go to, and I think it's going to eat up whatever budget I have.
I mean,
To be able to do both.
I mean,
Yeah.
But honestly, I'm going to Seattle just to go try and hang out in Seattle. Yeah, but it's
Seems like a fun place.
yeah, I'm gonna try it out. But I don't know. But one day, Penny Arcade Expo up there, it was an Emerald City Convention, something like that. in
Emerald
Seattle.
City, yeah.
That'll be something else to try out. But
ECCC.
anyway, well, thanks for coming. Thanks for joining us here.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming
It was
on
a lot
out.
of fun.
Yeah. And
Do you have anything you want to plug online? Like we can find you online, find your company.
seconds.
My Facebook is Internal Conflict Cosplay, and the team page is Alliance Cosplay. So you can find me either way there. And J-Toku costume, of course. That's about it.
Cool. All right. All right. Well, that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.